Hello there. I just got back from Italy a few days ago where I drank quite a bit of espresso. Bit jet lagged today, but I'm very excited also because when I returned, a package had arrived that I ordered a few months ago, and I have been very excited to show you. We've already got the wiggling fingers happening, so let me just, without further ado, get it for you. Drum roll, please. It's a book. We have another coffee cookbook here. Now, about a year and a half ago, we did a pretty extensive look at some vintage coffee recipes, and we're gonna look at some more today, but I think, frankly, these are even more interesting. This is the coffee cookbook. It was printed in 1962, and it was written by William Kaufman. So this is the era of Jell-O puddings and strange fruit salads, which means we're gonna be in for some treats. Prior to this, I do want to kind of note one thing in this book that really tugged at my heartstrings a little bit. In the front dedication, it is written, "Dedicated to my wife, Rosamond, the light of my life and a great coffee maker." When I first read that, I had like a little tiny tear, I will admit. However, one other interesting thing before we really dive into this is that William Kaufman has written quite a few other books. The Art of India's Cooking, The Sugar-Free Cookbook, The Art of Creole Cooking, Cooking with the Experts, and then moving down, It Pays to Finish High School, Your Career in Television, How to Write for Television, How to Announce for Television, and How to Write and Direct for Television. So, safe to say we have somewhat of a Renaissance man writing this book for us today. Without further ado, though, let's make some coffee. Okay, the first recipe we're going to be making today is called creamy coffee foam, which sounds delightful, frankly. Allow me to perform the recipe for you, and then we'll make it. Creamy coffee foam. 2 cups strong cold coffee. 1/2 teaspoon of Angostura bitters. 1/2 cup of heavy cream and bottled cream soda. Combine coffee bitters and cream, divide among 4 decorative glasses. Add ice cubes. Fill glasses with cream soda. Stir gently to mix. If you prefer, use cold coffee and thoroughly chilled cream soda and dispense with the ice. This makes 4 servings. Seems simple enough. I have the ingredients. Let's get started. Now, I will admit, prior to making this recipe, I am a little bit confuzzled at the use of both this much heavy cream and also a cream soda. I think we're gonna have some interesting carbonation happenings, but let's make it. In keeping with kind of this era of coffee, I made a really strong cold brew, and I used like a very dark French roast. I actually used some of the Costco coffee to make this because that is going to be a little bit more emblematic of the coffee flavor of this time rather than using something light and medium and very modern specialty. 2 cups, 1/2 cup of heavy cream, and now 1/2 teaspoon of Angostura bitters. This feels like a lot. I'm just gonna throw that out there. Give this all a good stir. So, seems about 1/4. And now we have our cream soda that we're gonna top this with. I don't know what I expected to happen, but nothing was not among the list of things. Stir gently to mix. I can do that. Let's have a sip here. I have to go back in. I mean, trepidation aside, that is rather delicious. I'm so curious about it being creamy coffee foam though. I was imagining we would see like more of a carbonation like dairy reaction and get kind of a little bit of like a head on this, kind of like maybe an Italian cream soda. Perhaps that has to do with the glass I'm using. So I'm gonna go get a different glass and we're gonna make this one more time. We'll pour this to about halfway. Seems the same. I mean, that is frankly delightful. It's cream soda, coffee, and more heavy cream. And frankly, it tastes exactly as you expect it to. I don't really taste any of the Ango in here. I expected to get a little bit more of it. That heavy cream really like washes everything out. That being said, this is super sippable. I hesitate to say you could just give this to your kids and they would love it, but you could probably give this to your kids and they would love it. Well, we're off to an absolutely delightful start today. I'm gonna clean up, get our next recipe, and I'll be right back. I want to give a huge thank you to Trade Coffee for sponsoring today's video. We are firmly in the grips of summer right now, and I don't know about you, but it has been nearly 100 degrees Fahrenheit for the past 5 days, and I've been crushing cold brew for all that I'm worth to stave off the heat. With the help of Trade's new cold coffee subscription, I've been able to brew coffees that have been specifically tailored and roasted to be optimal for cold extraction. Most recently, I've been going through this bag of PT's Cold Front Blend, a medium roast blend from Guatemala and Ethiopia that carries notes of blackberry, grape, and caramel when cold brewed, but this is just one of many cold coffee offerings that Trade has. And what's even better is that you don't have to do any of the work. The experts have already tasted and selected the best coffees for you, and they'll ship freshly roasted straight to your door. So if you want to learn more about Trade's cold coffee subscription or explore their entire catalog from over 55 independent roasters, you can head over to drinktrade.com/MDC and get 30% off your first order. That's drinktrade.com/MDC or the top link in the description down below. And thank you again to Trade for sponsoring today's video. All right, the next recipe that we're going to be looking at is called Honeypot Coffee. Allow me to once more read you the recipe. 1/2 cup of water, 1 tablespoon of sesame seeds, 1 tablespoon of honey, and 3 tablespoons of instant coffee. Combine water, sesame seeds, and honey. Bring to a rolling boil and then reduce the heat. Cover and simmer for 5 minutes. Remove from heat. Add coffee, strain into 2 demi-tosses, and it makes 2 servings. Okay, first things first, 1/2 cup of water. Now our tremendous 1 tablespoon of sesame seeds. And finally, 1 tablespoon of honey. I'm gonna bring our little mixture here to a rolling boil for 5 minutes, and I'll see you soon. We have brought to a boil, we have reduced, and it has simmered for 5 minutes. Let's add our instant coffee. 3 whole tablespoons of it. Oh, oh, lots of smells happening right now. I feel like very traditional, like dark instant coffee just has like, it's like the most distinct, like overpowering coffee-ish smell you can get. It doesn't like really smell like brewed coffee, but it's like coffee adjacent. Oh, I am making a mess with this one. Okay, 2 nice glasses of very dark looking liquid. There's a lot going on in there. It is very, very sweet. Shockingly enough, it's not the coffee that comes through first, it is the honey, and it is coating on the palate. Unfortunately, I find that you don't get as much sesame flavor as I might hope for. Like, you can kind of smell it, you can smell there's sesame seeds in there, but you don't really taste it, unfortunately. The coffee is strong and dark and very mocha pot-like without the texture, which frankly, I was expecting. I don't know why I keep sipping it. I'm not enjoying this. I would say we had better luck on the first one. However, we have 1 more to go, and this next one involves a banana, so let's see what happens. Moving on to our last recipe, which is a coffee banana milk punch. Once more, allow me to perform you the recipe. 2 medium, fully ripe bananas, 3 cups of milk, 1/4 cup of sugar, 2 teaspoons instant coffee, 1 teaspoon of pure vanilla extract, and whipped cream for garnish. Slice bananas, mash and mix with 1/2 cup of milk. Mix sugar and instant coffee and add. Stir in remaining milk and vanilla extract. Beat with a rotary or electric beater. Serve in tall glasses, top with whipped cream. Makes 1 quart. I know like our units of measurement are so non-replicable and often a bit silly, but being able to use them with no guilt brings me so much joy. All right, let's make a quart of coffee banana milk punch. Now, I will note that we are going to be making half a quart. This is a lot. I don't think I will be able to reasonably finish any of what we make today, and so I'm going to cut this recipe in half to reduce some of that waste. Okay, bananas first, then milk. It's very rare that I get to make my coffee in a bowl. 1 banana in the bowl. And I'm just imagining, you know, Graham walks in the morning. What are you doing, Morgan? And I'm like, oh no, don't worry. I'm just making my morning coffee right now. That feels appropriately mashed. We now have 1/8 cup of cane sugar. That's a pretty healthy amount of sugar right there. Additionally, we'll add in our instant coffee, which after how much we used in the last recipe, not a ton here. We're gonna use 1 teaspoon of instant coffee. This feels like a really good start to like some banana bread. We now add the remaining milk. Half a teaspoon. Now I just kind of want banana bread. Never mind the coffee. We are now supposed to beat this mixture until it is smooth. So we'll see how this goes. I'm always a little bit nervous to do this, but let's have at it. I think I'm doing a pretty good job so far. Okay, I think we have ended up with something usable here. Now, as much as I creamed everything together, I can still see some like larger banana pieces that I think I'm gonna strain out for the sake of the drink texture. Ugh. Well, going from bowl to glass is not the cleanest process for sure. Now, the last step is to top with whipped cream, and it doesn't specify whether the whipped cream should be sweetened, but I'm gonna add a tiny bit of sugar, not a ton. We have a lot in here already. Let us spoon our cream over our coffee banana milk punch. That feels like more than plenty. I mean, this is dessert. This is more than definitely dessert, but is it tasty? Yes. That is like banana bread in a cup in a way that I very rarely get the chance to taste. The texture is thick, sweet, creamy, delicious. The whipped cream, frankly, I think is like a little bit extra. I don't think this really needs it. The drink on its own is rather lovely. Oh, I'm so glad we ended with this one and not the sesame honey one. Regardless, let us all say thank you to Mr. Kaufman for some very interesting vintage coffee recipes. There are so many more in here, including baking recipes. So if you would like to see some of the other interesting concoctions that are in this book, do let me know. Regardless, this was a very fun time, and I do think I'm gonna go sip a little bit more of this. Lactose intolerance be damned. So, without further ado, my name is Morgan. You can find me here on YouTube once a week plus shorts, plus Instagram or TikTok every single day. If you want to learn even more about coffee recipes or about what I do, you can go to morgandrinkscoffee.com. And this was fun. I hope you all learned something. I hope you had a good time, and I'll see you next time. Have a good day, everyone.